Hey, everybody, welcome to the Soul Rehab Project. This is Sarah Saxby, and this is the podcast. I'm changing this around a little bit. This is a podcast where we talk about truth because everything that we've known up until this point is built on lies. So we're going to talk about truth. This is the Truth Podcast. And today's episode is part 2 from my last podcast, which was the 5 ways to know if you're actually outside of the illusion. And I'm struggling to use the word awakened because I realize that the more clips I'm making and podcasts I'm making and Substack content, it's obvious that there are such varying stages of awakening. There are different perspectives of what being awakened really is, and it's all fine. And for sure, humanity is really becoming much more awakened. It's confirmed because of all of the false foundations are shaking right now, personally and globally. And we can contribute that to our awakening. But just awakening, because there are so many levels of it, I want to try to narrow it down. I want to sort through all of the different types of awakening that's out there. And I thought about saying post-collapse consciousness, which kind of resonates with me a little bit. But then there are people who have gone through hardships and inconveniences, and they said, oh, I collapsed. And that's not really what I mean. When you are outside of the illusion because you lost your identity, you know what I'm talking about. But most things in this world, they exist to hold on to the identity at all costs, because once it's gone, you're outside of the illusion. And the identity doesn't get dismantled if you still have people to catch you, if you're still building the identity, if you're still seeking. There are 5 more things that I'm going to say in this episode that will really sort out those who are still within the illusion and those who are truly out of it. The way that I see it in my head is that I always draw this like sort of box, and just about everything that we have known in our lives is within that box, within that illusion. And when you get outside of it, that's why I struggle to even find the words to describe what it's like to be outside of it. And there's a lot of books that have been written about people that went through the things they had to go through and they're outside of it now, and they speak about what consciousness feels like. And the things that I've been through, most of it was inside the illusion, me going, wow, I can understand the concept of consciousness and post-collapse consciousness, but I know I'm still within the illusion. And so I have 5 additional things that I thought of that will sort out the people that are actually outside of the illusion, as opposed to just still being inside of it, because I've been there. Thinking you're outside of it, thinking you're conscious, thinking you're awake. I have been that person. So I'm speaking from experience because I am someone who experienced being inside the illusion, thinking I'm awake. But until I was actually outside of the illusion, I didn't realize how asleep I was. So let's start with number 6, because I have 5 in my 1 through 5 in my last podcast, and this is going to be 6 through 10. Number 6 is when you are outside of the illusion, you stop seeking a purpose. And when I say you stop seeking a purpose, that doesn't mean that nothing matters anymore. But what it does mean is that you stop needing things to matter. When you are outside of the illusion, that doesn't mean that brings you purpose. Because, interesting thing, if you ask someone that is outside the illusion what their mission is, what their purpose is, you will really struggle to answer that question because you're just being. And I could never imagine being in this situation and trying to explain it. It's like we don't have a purpose, but we look like we do. And we just can't explain what that purpose is. And I said this before, I can't write a bio to save my life. I can't find the 3D words to explain it. So if you ask me what my purpose is, and people have done that. So what do you do? And I just sit there and I'm like, well, I wish it would just download because I don't know. I don't know. I wrote this down because I thought this was really good. But the things that I don't do it because it's a calling. I do it because I simply cannot not do it. That's the difference. When you are outside of the illusion, you're not like, oh, it's my calling to do this, this, and this. You kind of sit there and you go, no, it's not my calling. It's just that I can no longer not do it.